All right, we are live with the last session of the day. We just wait for a couple of minutes for people to join in, and then I think we could get started. I hope both of us are visible. I mean, Sparsh and I, we have just joined in from the same system, so I hope we are visible. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So, when I was trying to think of what to share today, right, I thought of a story that was coming to my mind. A few days back, in fact, a few weeks back, I was rewatching some clips from last year's event and I caught myself doing something funny, which was in every clip of us, I was introducing myself the same way, which is, Hi, I'm Kavya from Damn to Test. However, that sentence doesn't exist anymore because earlier this year, we became TestMu AI. And that wasn't a marketing decision. It was, in fact, the company taking the name of this community. So think about that for a second, because usually an organization builds a conference. Here, a conference has built this organization. So you named us. So before anything else tonight, thank you so much for that. We have been building this community for the last 5 years, the community of quality engineers all over the world. And tonight we closed a milestone edition, the fifth edition, and the reason we are still here hasn't changed. It's because of you, and you are the number one reason for that. Over to you, Sparsh.
So, what did you look like this year? Let me tell you out loud because you did. It deserves to be said out loud. 75,000 of you from 130 plus countries, 145 plus speakers, 95 of sessions, 4,180 minutes of talks, panels, workshops, learnings, and very lively AMAs. To all 42 of our partners. But here's the thing, those numbers, they are not the story. The story is the speaker presenting at dawn from Oslo. It's a panel in Istanbul, Florida, Mexico, Bangalore, and they all coming on one screen and talking about guardrails in AI. It's a chat scrolling faster than the speakers could talk. The speakers still answering the questions an hour after their session ended. That's the community doing its thing. Now, this slide is one of the favorite in the deck because this we didn't design it, you did. These are the words, these are the topics from the community that actually you wanted to spend these 3 days on, what you wanted to. Agentic trusting, trust layer, agent orchestration, agent in production, human in loop, guardrails, zero scripting, loop engineering, vibe coding, browser agents, and many, many much more. That's why I think something quietly historically happened on these stage. The people building the agents, people testing them in the same room. The CTO of Replit,
Yeah.
the ex-founder who ran GitHub and is now building entire, leaders from Cognition, Arm, Lovable, Kudo, Pharos, Bespoke Labs, Nuno AI, and the companies shipping the agentic future, standing next to the quality leaders like Salesforce, Microsoft, Amazon. I can keep going on the companies that spoke this year in this conference. But yeah, so thank you to all the speakers joining and sharing your learnings. Builders and testers were all on one stage saying the same thing in different accents. Confidence is not correctness. A system that is fluent and wrong is the defining risk of this era. The people in this room are the ones equipped to catch it. Quality engineering is the trust layer AI ships on. And you did not keep this conversation just to yourselves. 20 million plus of these people saw this conferences through your profiles with hashtag TestMu 2026.
Yes.
And it was trending in technology on Twitter at number one. You took what you heard and you carried it outwards. That's how a community grows. You by retelling. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your learnings, your notes, your arguments, your bad takes. And that's what pushes past these people who were in this room that's starting the conversation with somewhere else, with someone who was not even here. And some of what you said, honestly, we were framing the sites. These are the real posts that were posted in last 3 days, and we were reading every one of them. If a session stayed with you, share it on your social media. Recording will be available on demand for every session for all 3 days. Rewatch, reshare, and tag us. The conversation does not end tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sparsh. The next slide, right? This is a special one too, because in fact, let me just move on to that one real quick. Yes. Sorry, we are on two systems together for folks who are getting confused on why I'm looking here and here at sometimes because we are also moving the slides. Awesome. So we hosted over 140 speakers this year. Every one of them gave time, preparation, and this is the part that I value the most because they are bringing their honest experience, they are bringing their own playbooks, they are bringing in what they've learned, challenges that they faced, what are the frameworks that they've built on, including the things, as I said, right, the challenges, the parts that didn't go according to their plans. And that's the honesty which makes this confidence useful rather than just interesting. And what a story they told across these 3 days, right? I mean, on day one, we opened with 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐭𝐬 from Sogeti, and later a keynote from Francesca Lazzeri from Microsoft. On day two, we had Thomas Donkey from Entire, who asked whether the developer lifecycle as we know it is dead. And then 7 panels of enterprise leaders from banking to healthcare to money moving at machine speed answered with more ahead, right? I mean, we spoke about the wins, the cost, the road still ahead, and so much more. And day three, we had Louis Hector from Replit, who showed us what an AI native company ships when the guardrails are code. And of course, we also had Donna Sirkar from Microsoft, who asked the question the whole industry is speaking about. Will the real autonomous agents please stand up? And such a quirky, interesting topic that is. And along with all of that, of course, the workshop stage never went once quiet. I'm calling it a workshop stage right now, but we called it the developer and engineering stages because that's exactly what we were basically building toward. We had wonderful workshops on Playwright, APM, Remote XPC, 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐭𝐬, hours of hands-on building that will walk straight into your stand-ups, hopefully on Monday, this Monday. And of course, at any given point of time, if you have more questions around it, feel free to reach out to us, the speakers, and more.
We also had 5 and many more challenges that ran alongside with these sessions this week, with over 15,000 prizes across them. Certification marathon, social media B, the TestMu Conference games, conference leaderboard, and Keynes CLI hackathon. 4 of these closes tonight. Winner will go up on our social channels in the coming days. So please keep an eye on those. And the fifth one I want to spend a minute on because it's not closing tonight. The 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐭𝐬 hackathon asks you to build something real with 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡. It could be web or mobile. Not a real demo, not a toy, but if you have touched it, 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡 is our agentic testing tool that lives within your terminal, within your pipeline, and your AI drives it, your AI builds it, and 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡 tests it. Every participant gets 10,000 free credits to test your web or mobile applications because nobody has to put their card down to find out if their idea works or
Makes
not.
sense. Yeah. Pretty cool.
So, not all of you told the same thing. 3 days is not enough to build something that you are actually want to put your name on, along with all of these sessions and learnings going together. So we thought that that's not a fair point. So we are extending it. 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐴I hackathon runs till 31st of August. Starting if you started this week, you got an entire 10 days to build something you're proud of. Or if you just started, you haven't missed it. You can go to the page, register, and you will get 10,000 free credits, and you can start building, try to break something, and you you can use the whole point of the tool.
Awesome. Moving on to the next segment, that is our valued partners. Thank you so much to our partners for supporting this community. Your booths bring dimensions to TestMu that conference that we could never build alone. So here's to building more together.
Which brings us to the slide that you have been waiting
Yep.
for. Because every good story ends with a sequel. TestMu Conference 2027, August 24 to 26. We are virtual, global, and in person. If this year is anything to go by, the biggest conversation about agentic engineering and quality on the planet. Registrations opens tonight, right now, in fact, and the button will come up on your screen. So here's my ask. Just don't register. Speak, propose, give feedbacks, ideas. All of them are welcome. Whether you have been spoken in any other editions or have never spoken anywhere. Remember what I said about the first time speakers. Next year, you could be one of them. And here's the part that you want to hear. TestMu don't go quiet for 362 days and reappear in August. This is a community that we have built. This is a community that runs year long. We host meetups in cities along across the world,
Yep.
working with our local partners, sharing knowledges, having conversations that happens in your city, in your accent, and over coffees, lunch, dinners, with lot many giveaways, prizes, and games. We also run webinars, expert talks throughout the year, going deep on exactly on the topics that you see trending and you want to learn out. Agentic testing, evals, guardrails, trust layer, etc. We also have community led sessions, free certifications, learning programs, YouTube tutorials, blogs, and we are always here for looking more people to host, speak, or bring TestMu to a new city. So if you want to meet up where you live, or you have to talk, you should not wait till August. Just reach out to us. That's not a figure of speech. We generally build next year's program from
Yep.
these conversations. Between now and 2027, come find us and let us find you.
Thank you, Sparsh. And now this brings to the very last page of the story, right? Because if you remember, we started off with the story. Now, this last page of the story, it's about the heroes or the people who wrote it, right? The folks who are hosting the sessions, who are running backstage, rebuilding agendas at midnight, answering support questions within minutes, designing every creative you scroll past, sharing engaging videos, running multiple campaigns, catching a lot of behind the scene videos and keeping the social media buzz and this community alive, all fueled by a lot of caffeine and an immense amount of love for this very community. Every year, this team asks itself exactly one question: what can we do better for the community this time? Their vision and dedication and 1,000 invisible hours are the reason why TestMu, not just the TestMu conference, but this entire community as well as the organization is unforgettable and the reason it exists at all. So they deserve a huge applause and so much more. So please give them the loudest cheers of these 3 days if possible. Kudos, Team TestMu AI. This
Thank you,
one's for
everyone.
you. I could not name a single team alone, which is why I'm calling it TestMu AI team. And yes, as per usual, our team is cheering us behind.
Here's to another year of learning, building, and testing the things that thing.
Thank you for being a part of TestMu Conference 2026. See you again in August 24th, 2027. Until next time, but till then, you know where to find us. Thank you so much,
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
See
It's a
you.
wrap.